Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
It's the end of the month roundup.
Woohoo!
I'm as shocked as anyone else because this month, November, has absolutely flowed.
Yeah, I can't believe it's the end of November. I went Christmas present shopping yesterday.
Me too.
I took George to buy his Christmas present. It's amazing.
You took George to buy his Christmas present?
Yeah, he wanted a guitar for Christmas, so we had to go and choose the right one. The right size and stuff, so he had to come with me. But I've got it here. So
how big is it? Does it look like a ukulele on you?
No, it's 3/4 size, so it's a little bit small.
Like an Ed Sheeran one.
My one, no one can see this apart from you, Dave, but my guitar behind my head looks normal size on me, but it's actually a dreadnought, which is like size plus size essentially.
It's a monster.
Yeah, but if I hold it, it looks normal size. Whereas I've got Georgie's little one here, little 3/4 size one. It does look a little bit like, I don't know.
So you're going to play the guitar together? Is that the dream here?
I'm going to get him some proper lessons so he doesn't learn all my bad habits.
Yeah. Basically. How was the last time you properly played? Do you normally just pull it down and
I normally just
hit the strings, slapping the bass?
I don't slap the bass because it's not a bass guitar.
It's the only reference I can think of.
Once a week or so probably, and I'm still not very good. So.
And how many years is that?
About 25.
Yeah. I didn't want to make it feel like you just picked up. This is something he was doing prior meeting me in university over 20 years ago.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Yep. Better on the piano than the guitar, but pianos are big.
The piano's a big debate in your history as well.
They're too large.
You can't just sneak a piano into a house, do you? I mean, you got what is it? A keyboard? I suppose you can get one of those.
Yeah, true. I could get one of those, but I don't really have the time to do all the stuff that I do now. So, let alone like trying to
learn another instrument.
Well, bring another instrument into the mix.
I tried to learn the ukulele in the lockdown.
Oh yeah,
badly. It turns out I have no musical ability whatsoever.
I remember when our friend Robbie came, when I lived with him, and he came home with a ukulele and got very obsessed with it. And he was like, I'm forming a band. I'm going to play ukulele in a band. And we're like, oh, yeah, that sounds fun. And now his band have played Glastonbury and, all over the place. And I'm like, shouldn't have taken the piss out of the ukulele quite so much.
It's a lovely little instrument. Well, good on Robbie. Shall we crack on with this, what we're actually meant to be doing today and talking about? And talking about the end of month roundup. So we talk about the sequels that we've seen this month. We do our correspondence and then we do the news, lots of news. And then we talk about all the movies, sequels and otherwise, and TV. And Catch Up Club, which is where we talk about the films that are going to come out in the next month. So, Rich, can you remember the sequels that we've talked about this month?
Oh, no. We
talked about
the Marvels. That was one.
That was the latest.
Trolls 3. And we talked about Thor: The Dark World.
Congratulations, you've actually remembered them all.
In reverse order.
That's okay. There's no problem about that.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
How do you feel it's been as a sequel month? Tough work or...
we've had better months, I'd say.
We were
considering we were waiting for June Part 2, I'd say this month has been somewhat disappointing.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sequels. But we got through it, and we've had fun doing it. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed listening to it. We have a new listener has gotten in contact with us. He was listening to the Ant-Man Quantumania review episode from the beginning of the year, and apparently... Me and you still don't understand what the Quantumania Zone. I can't actually remember what it's actually. Quantum Realm.
Quantum Realm. That's it. Yeah. Quantum Realm.
Anyway, he says I have started listening to your podcast and I got to Quantumania and I can't. This is from Noah, by the way. I should probably say his name. Noah. Okay. I have started listening to your podcast and I got to the Quantumania episode. And I can probably give you an idea of what it is. So. The quantum realm is basically a subatomic, smaller than atoms, I presume, where space and time work differently. It's so small that it is so small that to get down there, you need to change the distance of atoms.
Yeah, but
that still makes no sense to me.
I get that, but how did all the people get there? That's the bit I don't get.
Because it's a quantum realm.
If it's smaller than atoms, how can you breathe? because oxygen atoms would be bigger than your planet. Like, none of it makes no sense to me, mate.
No. Thank you for getting in contact, Noah. But from whatever you tell me about the quantum realm and however you explain it, it will still mystify me. I have no clue how it works and why and where.
Yeah,
but I go along with it. I enjoyed it in Endgame or whatever. However they connected it, how it turns into space travel or time travel.
Yeah, and I sort of get that one.
I don't get
how there are people living in it. That's my
okay.
bit.
So Noah's got to come back and tell us.
Yeah. How there are people living in it.
Okay. He's also got in contact and told us what he thought of the Marvels. So thank you for getting in contact to tell us about last week's show. He says, Marvel has made, after a long time, a decent movie that I enjoyed. First, Cats, the Falcons, what are they called? Flurkins. That scene was fun, but the Cats animation was iffy. Let me explain. They didn't blend well with the environment, but it was fun, and I never look at the Cats the same way again. Okay. Second, the logic of this movie was hard to understand in some parts. The bad guy, well, bad in a good way, but one thing, what's powering her hammer? Makes a good point.
That's a
all
good point,
all the Infinity Stones are gone, but I don't know if it was a pothole in the writing. But overall, good movie, and I enjoyed watching it.
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, that's a good point.
Does make. I don't think it's ever explained what drives the big hammer.
No,
because Rohan puts the Infinity Stone in the hammer and Guardians, but I'm sure it's powerful before that. But I don't remember it being glowing purple.
I don't remember either, mate. On the Cats thing, all I can say is the CGI on the Cats in Marvels is a lot better than the CGI in the movie Cats. So I think, wins on that front.
It weighs it's all out. And like we said, we had such a low level of expectation for some of the CGI in the Marvel films now.
And I've seen a lot of hate for the Marvels, but actually I thought it was all right. And it doesn't deserve to be the lowest grossing Marvel movie, MCU movie.
No, I've seen some people absolutely trash it. I feel like I'm watching a different movie.
Yeah.
Granted, I go back to it, that some of the story doesn't flow very well, but it was fun. Put that on it. Put that on the poster, Marvel. Noah also got in contact and told us the one last thing, 110% do whenever it comes out, which I think is pretty soon, by the way, a What If Season 2 review. Now, I think we'll probably do that on the end of month roundup, to be honest, if we get round to it. Because
I should probably finish watching season 1.
Have you not?
It's actually I started watching it with George and he got bored and I didn't carry on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, there's some big shit goes down at the end of that, I remember. I believe Disney Plus are dropping it all in 1 week, as in the...
Oh, right, okay.
The previous season they did it week by week, but this one they just can give you, here's a 10 episodes or whatever and go at it at your own pace. So I'm still not quite sure what I enjoy most, the whole waiting or binging. I think I like waiting.
Oh, really? I like having the choice. So I like them dropping it all at once and then being able to choose how long I wait between episodes rather than having to, go back to the 90s and be forced to wait a week between episodes.
You rush everything out once and then you've got nothing else to watch.
Oh, true. But some things I'm happy to watch all at once and some things I will decide myself to have a little gap
also,
between.
There's so much to watch now. I think
True.
Having said I've got nothing to watch is... you just can't say that anymore. It's ridiculous. There's so much to watch. It's ridiculous.
Wait until we talk about all the things I've watched this month.
It's been a busy one for Rich. Shall we move on to movies? News?
Sequel news.
Now, I normally give you an option, don't you, of 1 to whatever.
Yeah, you do.
That's not going to happen today. I'm gonna blitz through it. And I've got them all on my tabs, so they're in no particular order. So excuse me for that.
How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, possibly 17. Whoa! This is officially our biggest news ever. Biggest sequel news month ever.
Well, the good news is that the actor strike has ended. The SAG people union got pretty much what they want, I think, which is mainly not to be taken over by AI. So the studios now, if they want to use your voice or your picture for feature projects, they have to continuously pay for it, which is more than acceptable
Yes.
for a working actor. They can't just steal it once and go, that's enough, and you never work again kind of thing. So, and there are other, obviously other points that actors wanted. But I think that's the main one, the future of, because AI is a bit scary. So that's good. So that happened pretty much last week. And then since then, it was like setting off a bomb, and everyone has got back to work. So Deadpool's going back to work. I saw Tom Hardy back on the Venom 3 set, which I know you're excited about because
I'd quite like Venom. My son loves Venom, so I've watched both of them a lot. Yes, for the last 3 years for Halloween, he's dressed as Venom. Yeah, he's a big fan. So I've watched these movies a lot. I really like the first one. The second one's okay. I'm hoping this third one's going to be like the one where they take it up. Yeah,
so that's got back to work. Deadpool's got back to work. Mission Impossible is going back to work. Big news on Mission Impossible is that it's no longer going to be called Dead Reckoning Part 2.
Right.
I feel like the Part 1 hampered the box office numbers.
Right.
If that makes sense. So they're going to call it
Dead Reckoning the Reckoning?
I don't think it's going to be called Dead Reckoning. So weirdly, Dead Reckoning Part 1 is just going to be called Dead Reckoning Part 1. Right. So I reckon that eventually they will drop the Part 1 and it's just going to be called Dead Reckoning.
Dead Reckoning, yeah.
And then the next Mission Impossible is going to be called Mission Impossible : Endgame.
Something else.
AI, something or other. Something else, but the reason imagine if they just... Yeah, Steve. They did that because of he didn't hit the heights that they thought it was going to hit. And what do you think about that? Do you think a name hampers you going to see it if it's a franchise you've enjoyed for so many years?
We talked about this with Live, Die, Repeat / whatever it was called.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow, about how much difference the name makes. And I think for a Mission Impossible movie, I don't think it does, because it's Mission Impossible is the thing. People go, oh, yeah, I know what that is. You know,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it would have been worse if they didn't call it Part 1, like Spider-Verse, when everyone went, what? You know, or June, where everyone's like, what do you mean it's a Part 2?
Well, they kept that very secret until you actually sat down in the film and it came up in the credits. It was like June Part 1. And I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't even know
And I think we applauded Mission Impossible for actually telling people it was a Part 1, you know, so that you don't get that frustration at the end. So
I'm not going
back and, you know.
That you're saving yourself, so when it's Part 2 comes out, you're just doing them back to back, because you know cinemas will be like, we'll play them back to back.
I wouldn't, but, you know, I guess some people do, maybe.
No, that's true. So we look forward to whenever that gets announcing, but I don't know if the big news about what set pieces he's going to have to do, Tom Cruise is going to do in this one, because again, it's going to have to be bigger than throwing himself off a cliff. So
yeah, I'm imagining some underwatery stuff.
It's going to have to be underwatery stuff because of the submarine.
And also, China loves underwatery stuff.
That's true.
So they can sell lots.
If you want to hear our review of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, go back and listen to it.
Listen.
A few months ago. Also, news. Frozen 4 is in the works. Yes, I says Frozen 4. No, we have not missed Frozen 3. They're not skipping Frozen 3.
I was confused for a second.
Bob Iger has just come out and said the other day, yeah, we're working on Frozen 4. That's because Frozen's going to make money.
I really hope they call it Frozen Thor, as in THAW.
That would be great. Disney, you can have that for free if you want.
No, you can't have it for free. We want invites to screenings.
Oh, yeah, screenings.
Yeah, please, Disney.
So I'm not quite sure when Frozen 3 is meant to be out. Frozen 3 is in the works, and there might be a Frozen 4 in the works too. Disney CEO said on Thursday morning, but I don't have much to say about those films right now. No, of course you don't, because it's like, it took 10 years between 1 and 2, right? And when
it's going to be a while.
I mean, the kids are going to be kids, like adults with kids by the time 4 comes out. So, but, you know, it's a money maker, and, you know, what's his Little Snowman Man turns up everywhere, and I think it's Disney's big old property at the moment. So that's happening. Lots of news on the Fantastic Four movie in the MCU after the Marvels. They haven't really announced any of the casting. That was meant to have happened. They reckoned as soon as the strike was over, we're going to get news. But the biggest news is they reckon, this is not confirmed and this is only internet chatter, but Pedro Pascal is in talks to play Reed Richards.
Interesting.
Add him to another franchise. How do you feel? Do you know much about the Fantastic Four? Like,
I mean, not loads. I've seen the 2 mediocre movies so far. I thought we were getting the guy from The Office as Reed Richards.
Well, he was the guy in Doctor Strange, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But, that's another universe, so they're thinking about...
Okay.
And maybe he just doesn't want to do it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You know, you're committed to...
Must be a bit of a pain being a really stretchy dude.
I'm not quite sure if Reed Richards is meant to be a nice guy or like a funny guy, or if he's charismatic.
No, I think he's quite just the bog standard science guy.
He's up there with Bruce Banner and Tony Stark.
Yeah,
as an
that kind of.
He's like the smartest man in the world.
Yeah, and then I think the charisma comes from Johnny Storm, who's what's he called? I can't remember what his name is.
Chris Evans,
the fire guy, basically.
Yeah, Human Torch.
The Human Torch. That's the one.
The fire guy.
And then you get a bit more from like the Thing. He's like the comic relief kind of.
Yeah. They reckon Vanessa Kirby's going to play the Invisible Woman.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Sue Storm. Yep, got a name. They reckon. I've forgotten his name. He's going to play Ben from The Bear, the cousin. Richie.
Oh, okay, yeah. I gotcha. I can't remember what his name is.
No, he's great though. They reckon he's going to be, and I don't know who's going to be the Human Torch, but you know, we'll wait and see. It's got to come out soon. What they're going to do with this, because they've been teasing it for a while, and the director's already there, and I'm pretty sure they've written the script. So anyway, big other news in the Marvel world is that coming due to the end of Loki season 2 and the Marvels, they may not be this film called The Kang Dynasty, the next Avengers film.
Oh, right, okay.
Director Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, was supposedly directing it, but now he's left and they've let the writers go off it. I think he's still directing the sequel to Shang-Chi.
Is this because of the Jonathan Majors stuff?
Yes, I think it is. No, obviously Marvel haven't come out and confirmed yes or no that. I think they're still waiting of seeing how the court case goes, but we can't. We're going to Loki a bit more in our TV roundup, and we'll try not to spoil it. But I'm not convinced they're convinced that now this is the big baddie in the future. So there is rumours that they're going to get Doom going, or Doctor Doom. Yeah. There was rumours the other day that they've had words with Mad Mikkelsen to play a bad guy.
Oh, he'd be a really good Doctor Doom.
He plays so many bad guys now.
Yeah, true.
He's like your token guy you go to if you need a bad guy.
Fair enough.
And this was meant to come out in 2020, announced in 2025 originally. It's been put back to 2026. So we'll see what happens. And that means it pushes Avengers Secret Wars back another year. They're all meant to be back to back. So there's been a lot going on in the Marvel Universe recently. And it's not all good. As in, none of it's good.
It's not all good. It's not good. That's all. It's not that it's not all good. It's not good.
It's not good. So maybe they're pausing or they're reshuffling the deck a bit. I know with the actor strike, and that means we might only get one possible Marvel film next year, which might be a good thing. It might be 2 films, actually. But it might be a good thing. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Deadpool I've mentioned. So that's good that Deadpool's coming back. Yay! There has been a bomb of trailers drop, Rich. And I know you haven't watched any trailers probably.
Nope. Only ones where I've been to the movies and they come up.
These ones haven't. There was a trailer for Spider-Man Universe film that we're going to have to watch because it's part of that bloody canon universe with Morbius. Madam Web trailer with Dakota Fanning.
Oh, okay.
Now, do you know anything about this character? Because I don't.
Yeah, I know from the comics a bit. Like, not my favourite.
The excitement in
character.
your voice sells it to me straight away.
I've always been really confused. Like, she's sort of an interdimensional, multiversey type of person, as far as I remember. And that stuff always confused me quite significantly.
I always imagine her, what I remember from the cartoons is her in like this big cloud in another realm that Spider-Man keeps getting sucked, and she's like sitting on a big throne. She's quite old, and well, the trailer for that doesn't look anything like this. It's Dakota Fanning in her late 30s, and there's a bit of time traveling, jumping around, and she's meeting possible other Spider Women, and there's a bad Spider-Man jumping around.
I mean, I think judging on the other movies we've seen from this universe, I'm not holding out much hope. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, next year, I think we might have 3 from this universe. We're definitely getting Craven. We're definitely getting Madam Web, and there was another one. Was it? I can't remember what the other one was. It might be Venom.
Is Venom in this universe?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So Venom's okay.
Venom's okay. So that's
just okay.
Hey, I like Tom Hardy. He knows what movie he's in, so I'll give him that. Inside Out 2 trailer also drops.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Excited?
I've heard of this.
Or is Inside Out so perfect as a singular film we don't need a sequel?
No, I can see where they would go with a sequel. Because as you grow, teenagers, very mixed emotions. I'm not sure what emotions they're going to add in, but I imagine there'll be some new ones.
Well, in the trailer, they add in basically the control tower of the mind gets revamped, and anxiety. They
anxiety.
They add so they add some teenager tropes of your feelings, and I just wondered what you thought. What would you add your feelings at that age? So I think she's 15.
It's a teenage girl rather than a teenage boy. But me as a teenage boy, you'd definitely add horniness, wouldn't you? That's the biggest shift, I would say. Horniness, anxiety's probably up there. That's fair off.
Embarrassment, is that one?
Embarrassment. I think the embarrassment's already in there, isn't it? Or is it not? But
Shame.
Anyway, embarrassment. So your embarrassment factor is high, right? When you're a teenager.
Yeah, you're just trying to survive.
Basically embarrassed by everything.
Mainly parents.
Yeah, well, just my whole life, essentially, as far as I can remember.
I think horniness is definitely... I can't wait to see that one. Can't wait to see that.
Not sure that's happening in a Disney movie.
Okay, another trailer. Another Apes film. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. So Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Have we not had is there a kingdom in the original?
No, there's a conquest, there's a battle, there's an escape, there's beneath.
Gotcha.
If you want to go listen back to them, listen to me and Rich watched all 5 of these films for another slice and our box set mentality. So we are pretty good with the folklore of the Apes movies.
Yeah, except I can't remember their names, obviously.
No. And this one is set after War, the original trilogy, which is just gone, the Matt Reeves, Andy Serkis trilogy. And this one looks a little bit after that. But for someone who's like me and you who just watched the Conquest and Battle and stuff, I was like, I can see nods to those films in here. So it's set more in the future. The apes are talking. It looks
is it Matt Reeves again, or
nope? It's a director called Wes Ball who directed the Maze Runner trilogy.
I've not seen that. No, I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
He's taken over. There's different tribes of apes. I think men, humans are very much on the run, as in like in the original Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
There's talkie. Apes are on horses. There's the gorillas are talking differently and they're angry. So I'm really looking forward to this.
I love an apes movie.
So that's I'm excited for us to talk about that. We're down that. Other trailer, Ghostbusters, new film.
Oh yeah.
With name.
I've heard James Acaster's in it.
And you can see him in the trailer twice. Doesn't say anything.
Interesting.
But the Ghostbusters are back in New York. And it is called Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. I love that.
Are we finally getting that Ghostbusters Frozen crossover we've all been dying for?
I wish. It's the trailer is on a hot summer's day in July, and then suddenly, basically, New York freezes over. And in the trailer, you get glimpses of Ernie Hudson. You do get to see Bill Murray. Dan Aykroyd does a little bit of dialogue explaining in there. And then you also get the people that were in the original Afterlife film, so the kids and Paul Rudd. And then you see James Acaster in the back a few times. Patton Oswalt does a bit of explaining. I'm not. Some of the CGI looks a bit ropey, but this is a trailer, so hopefully they improve. I don't know if I like the name Frozen Empire. Sounds like an ice cream kind of thing.
Could be the Empire State Building, though, couldn't it?
Well, yeah. And then you do kind of see a ghost at some point, a couple of points. So, but that was meant to be out at the end of this year. I believe it's not anymore. Hang on, let me see if it tells me when it should be. It would have been
a good Christmas release, wouldn't it? Freezing and all that sort of stuff.
It is now hitting in 2024 in April.
Yeah, not okay. It's not too long to wait. Less than 6 months away now.
Both me and Rich, again, go back and listen to our episode on Ghostbusters Afterlife with Sean Walsh.
With Sean Walsh. And Sean Walsh was on Sunday brunch this morning. I sat there with my son. I was like, oh, I know him.
We're going to try and get Sean back on to review this. We had a little quick chat about the trailer the other day. He got excited about it, and I said, "Are we going to have to talk about the movie when it comes out?" And he said, "Yes." So I've taken his word for it now. So if he doesn't come on, I'm going to sue him.
We're not.
We fucking love Sean Walsh. Cannot tell you what he's done for us. Sean Walsh is a legend in our eyes. Agreed. Okay, more sequel chat news. Do you remember a film in 2014? It was a horror film. You might not. It's called It Follows.
I've heard of it, yes.
Very scary film. I've watched it once and it proper gave me the goosebumps, and I never really want to watch it again.
A curse, right?
A curse, so it's when you can only pass it on when you have sex with someone. So, and then these slow, this cursey demon thing, it always follows you basically, but it comes at you very slowly, but it never stops until you pass the curse on.
Okay.
But it's really well done, and some of it's really fucking scary. Anyway, there's a sequel to that coming, same director. They're going to call it They Follow. Bit worried about it because, again, original's so good.
That implies more curses, right?
More curses, and also it's going to be over 10 years later.
Ooh.
It was made for around 1 million and made 21 in the world box office, so pretty good. And it's for years they've always been saying, "Where's the sequel to It Follows? Where's the sequel?" Well, it's finally happening. So same cast are returning, I believe. I'm excited for it. I know you haven't seen it, but I think you'll really enjoy it. I think this is maybe your type of horror. It's smart, it's clever, it's different.
That is my kind of horror movie, I guess.
It's more, I would say, independent-y / that kind of cinema than Saw and Exorcist and whatever. It's
okay.
It's the best way of it.
I'm going to watch it because it's getting a sequel, so,
We'll get to it. Okay, what have we got next? Also another trailer for, this is quite exciting for me and you. Hopefully we can get to talk about it. Your Christmas or Mine Too.
Okay. I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I quite enjoyed that movie. Yeah. Okay.
Your Christmas and Mine came out last Christmas, and it has Daniel Mays in it, Asa Butterfield from
Butterfield,
Asa. And it's when he and his girlfriend go to the opposite families for Christmas accidentally, and it's absolutely delightful, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice Christmas movie.
It's a go-to, probably one every year now. Anyway, they've done a sequel. Kind of the same thing happens again, but this time on holiday somewhere, or they end up in the wrong location. Okay. It looks fun. I think it comes out on the 8th of December, so I think we can just squeeze this one in.
Well, it's a sequel. We should really, shouldn't we?
Before we shut down for Christmas and I go off to other countries. Also, we're nearly done. Dune 2 has been moved forward from March the 15th to March the 1st.
I mean, okay.
I don't know why or what's the point in that extra 2 weeks.
Couple of weeks earlier, Hey.
Obviously, it was meant to come out this month in November. We're all meant to be raving about it now. And then they pushed it back because of the actor strike, and the actor strike then ended, and then they've moved it forward slightly, but not massively. If they really wanted to help us out, they should have moved it to January from a personal.
They wouldn't move it to January, though, because people don't go to the movies in January.
But that's the perfect place to put it, because there's nothing else competition.
True. True.
What are we going to get? Final Destination 99 or whatever. Ends up watching. Last bit of news. It's not major news because I thought we knew it was coming. But Jason Momoa was on Jimmy Fallon the other day, and he's pretty much announced that Aquaman 2, Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls, whatever we're going to call it now, is
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Are we tarnishing it with that mantle, are we?
I don't know. It is his last outing, I think, as
in
Aquaman, and the end of the DC EU. What was the Schneider and all that? This is it now. But then he does caveat it, unless it's really popular. if it makes another billion and a bit at the box office,
can't see it from the trailers I've seen.
You never know.
It looks more like Aquaman and the Kingdom of the Rubber Duck, as far as I can see. They're
really laying it on with the whole brother buddy cop thing for me, and I hated the first film. Well, we'll get around with that when we actually watch the sequel. How much I detest that film. But it's official at the end. We all know it's coming. The big question there is, will that dampen or hinder the box office returns of this sequel?
I'm giving up guessing because I thought it would with The Flash, but it didn't so much. The Flash did all right, didn't it? And I thought the Marvels would do all right, but it's bombed. I'm past guessing.
And we thought Indiana Jones and Mission Impossible make huge amounts of money. And they didn't.
No. So, yeah, I don't know.
But Super Mario Brothers did. So...
yeah, true. Who knows, mate? My son was quite keen for it. So, and he was joking with me the other day about his poor taste in movies.
Really? Your son?
Yeah.
Bless him.
He was being like, "Oh, well, I must have really bad taste in movies because I like number Star Wars 2, and you and Mummy said it's the worst ever." I was like, no, it's not the worst ever because 9 is the worst.
Does he listen to this podcast and know that?
He doesn't know.
We're like, this boy has horrible taste in movies.
No, I know. We joke about it all the time.
Yeah.
If George likes a movie, it's probably bad.
Do you know, a lot of people say I've got a bad taste in movies as well, mainly my family. Even when I recommend films. Yeah, they're like, oh, we can't. Anything you...
Yeah, you've got a bit of a reputation with my wife as well. Because you recommended The Room once.
But that is a good movie.
It's a good movie, I know, but I think it just scarred her for life.
It's not a movie you'll go back to over and over again. Also, with my parents, I don't think they like... Hi, Mum and Dad, I know you listen. Arty-tarty films sometimes, you know, like the award-winning. And when I'm like, oh, this is really good, you should watch this film. And they're like, oh, we watched it, it was all right. Like, oh, okay.
I don't think it means you've got bad taste. Maybe you've got elevated taste, Dave.
Oh, you hear that, Mum? You hear that, Dad? Elevated taste. Yes. Anyway, we should move on. But thank you for everyone that got in contact as well. I've been rushing, but thank you for that. Yeah, that was movie news. Hopefully December's not as chaotic as November. And I'm pretty sure I've missed things out of that movie news as well. There's probably other things that are geared up and cast in, and it's all kicking off somewhere on the internet that I haven't worried about. But
because it's been holding back for so long. It's just like sort of burst out like an alien from someone's chest.
Yeah. I knew the actor strike was about to end because a few days before it, they announced Jason Momoa was hosting SNL. And I was like, there's no way they'd get Jason Momoa just to stand there and not promote Aquaman.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
yeah,
I thought it was a bit weird, and then it got announced, and yay, it's all okay. Anyway, shall we move on to sequels that we've seen? So that's
this is your one, yeah.
Okay, sequels that we've seen. Na sequels that we've seen. This is the part of the show when me and Rich discuss the sequels that we haven't covered on this show that we've watched in our actual free time.
Yeah,
and normally it turns out it is barely any.
Yeah, but I've watched a few because I had to because they were on my Christmas movie poster. So,
do you want to quickly remind people what the movie poster is? Because I feel this is going to come into play a lot in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, in the next 4 weeks, I should say as well. For those who maybe are new to listening or haven't listened to the episodes for a while, I was bought a Christmas a poster with the 100 Christmas movies on it. You scratch them off when you've watched them. It's because I had a 100 a bucket list of the 100 movies you have to watch before you die, and I completed that one. So now I've got this Christmas movie one, which meant I started watching Christmas movies on the 21st of October. Luckily, they're not all very Christmassy. So there are a few in there that aren't. I'm watching the slightly less Christmassy ones, essentially. The ones that have a mention of Christmas, or the characters get together and have a Christmas dinner, or they're not exactly Christmas movies.
Right.
But I've realised that, I've tried to put them all on my letterboxd. I've realised I've missed a couple. Because, so I have to go back. I haven't missed any on my scratching off my poster, but I've missed putting them on Letterboxd. So I'll have to go back on there. So you can come and follow me on Letterboxd. I'm RW Unequal Sequel. And you can see which ones I've been watching. But in terms of sequels, Batman Returns, apparently a Christmas movie. Yeah. It happens. Some of it happens at Christmas time, I guess.
Quite a lot of it happens at Christmas, actually. Yeah,
I think this is the difference between a movie that's set at Christmas and a Christmas movie. I think there is a distinction between those two things. But
you are opening a can of worms. There,
this poster does not distinguish. So that's a sequel.
Yep.
I watched Trolls Holiday and Shrek the Halls. I'm guessing they sort of count as sequels.
We covered them last week on the Trolls review. So
also, I should say, last week in the Trolls review, you told off DreamWorks for not having Trolls in the thing. And me and George watched Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, and Princess Poppy is in the DreamWorksy bit at the start.
I have no recollection of that, and I also watched Puss in Boots. Wow, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, George was very excited. He going, "Oh, Puss in Boots," and then he's like, "Oh, Princess Poppy." But so National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Does that count as a sequel?
Yeah, best Christmas sequel in the world. Then that and Home Alone 2.
And what is it like? Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I've just mentioned. Not a Christmas movie, but I have watched it.
So did I. Wife's first time, and she was really surprised as much as we were.
It's really good, isn't it? George has watched it like 4 times in the last 4 weeks.
Makes you think about your life and death, guys. It's really it's a bold move for a kids' animated movie.
And I've also watched Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Well, that's
the one with the Yule Ball. Because on my poster, one of the movies is the Harry Potter series. I'm like, I'm not watching all of them. I'm going to watch one, which is got the most Christmassy stuff in it.
Okay.
So I did that.
Well, I watched all the Harry Potters.
Over
3 days. My wife has been bugging me for a while to do a Harry Potter marathon, and I've been busy for a couple of weekends. Actually, one weekend I went and got quite drunk and stuff like that. So I owed it to her, and we watched 1 on Friday night, 4 on Saturday, and then 3 on Sunday. It was like full out Harry Potter.
I messaged Dave and said, I am cooking a big roast dinner. Do you guys want to come over for roast dinner? And Dave's like, no, I can't. We're doing a Harry Potter marathon. I was like,
yes, you bring it to me. And
fair enough.
It's not on schedule. We finished at 5 minutes to 5, I think. And then we watched the Grand Prix. And then I think we were like, I think we should not watch TV for a while. But a lot of them do have Christmas in them. I think in all the films he does celebrate Christmas.
There's Christmas, I think, in most of them. For me, I don't know if you get a feeling, and I don't know if I've never done a marathon of the Harry Potter ones, but sometimes I do a marathon of movies. When it ends, I'm like, oh, life is really dull compared to movies.
Yeah.
Like, come on, why isn't there magic? Why isn't there actual real magic, damn it?
I would love to have a little bit of magic. It would be wonderful. And I really enjoyed watching them back to back, actually. I really like doing movie marathons. It's not something my wife's massively into it. We did a lot during the pandemic, obviously, like most people do. But it was a struggle to get through the first 2. I still really struggle with those films. Very much enjoyed Azkaban. I still think I love Goblet of Fire. I think it is a brilliant film. Lots of people can come at me with me. I'm not a big fan of Half-Blood Prince or The Order of the Phoenix. And then I like Deathly Hallows Part 1 just as much as I like Deathly Hallows Part 2. If anything, I like Part 1 more than Part 2 because it's like on the road chase movie. It's, they're not at Hogwarts and it's a bit different. And certainly they've all learned how to act by those last few films. Emma Watson over-pronunciates in those first 2 films. Bless her, it's brilliant. That's wonderful, Henry. stuff like that. But it was long and tedious, and for a few days afterwards, all I thought about was Harry Potter films, and I was like, oh, should we do the Fantastic Beasts one?
Oh God, no.
And we weren't brave enough to go that.
Don't need to go to the theatre and watch The Cursed Child or something.
I did look into tickets. I've seen it before, so I saw it in the first couple of weeks. Long story short, my wife is a massive Harry Potter fan, and I bought her tickets to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child before she knew what Harry Potter and Cursed Child were, and I gave them for Christmas or birthday, and I thought she'd be so excited about it, like, oh my God,
she didn't know what it was.
She had no idea what it was, and then probably a year later, that's how long I had the tickets for, she was watching a program, and they were talking about this new stage productions, and she's like, is that what we got tickets for? I was like, yes, and it finally paid off. She was so excited, and she couldn't believe it. And we had a lovely 2 days in London because we had to do them on a Friday night and a Saturday night, and it was great. And it was in early dress rehearsal kind of period in the first 2 weeks, and they like ironing everything out. And one of the Death Eaters doesn't get. He was meant to go back up, and he just stayed there for a while while other things happened. It was hilarious. But some of the things they do in that on stage is amazing, like the magic.
And it's such a shame because, my wife's the same. She really loves Harry Potter. George really loves Harry Potter. And it's just such a shame that J.K. Rowling is such a transphobic arseface.
She really is.
Isn't it, really? Like, if she wasn't peddling the whole like transphobia stuff on social media, I could fully get behind the Harry Potter.
I completely ignore her and support the other causes in other ways, like give them a voice and donate and whatever, and just.
I was going to say, like when we did Fantastic Beasts and we said we'd give the same amount of money to like trans rights charities that we spent on the ticket kind of thing. So she doesn't win. But
she doesn't win. And plus, that Fantastic Beast now has pretty much been cancelled. So,
well, it was shit, wasn't it? Come on,
it was shit. Anyway, that is sequels that we've seen. Shall we move on to?
It is.
God, I'm absolutely flying at this. Shall we move Movie Club now?
Movie Club.
He remembered. I've watched 2 films.
Oh, well, I've watched about 32.
You go first, and then we'll talk about my one other film, and then we'll talk about the one film we both watched.
Okay, so most of mine are Christmas movies. Be prepared. I watched a movie called Love Hard, sort of a play on Die Hard. It's not amazing.
Good. So not a recommendation on that one?
No, it's a very much a Netflix Christmas movie kind of thing. It's okay. I gave it 2.5 stars. It's okay. In contrast, watch Arthur Christmas, which is always amazing.
Always great. Christmas Day special. I've watched
a load of like short Rankin and Bass Christmas movies, all the like stop motion Rankin and Bass stuff, which is all like, in the start of Elf, where he's going off on his adventure and there's all the stop motion-y bits. It was like, bye, buddy, hope you find your dad.
Yeah.
That's Rankin and Bass, basically.
Okay.
There's loads of like Christmas movie stuff on there. I watched all those, like Little Drummer Boy, Year Without Santa Claus Coming to Town, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all that stuff. I've watched Noel on Disney that I hadn't seen before. That was new
Kendrick
for me.
Film.
Yeah, I think it's all right. It's fine.
I love Anna Kendrick. I watch her in anything. I think she's delightful to be on screen.
It's fine. Then I got into some slightly less Christmassy and yet still Christmas movies, apparently.
Okay.
So Sleepless in Seattle on my poster.
Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't know that was a Christmas film. I haven't watched it in years, though.
Not really a Christmas film, but apparently it is.
Okay.
Lethal Weapon, obviously set at Christmas. I kind of get that one.
I mean, they have a fight around a Christmas tree at the end. So
they do. Well, not. I mean, in the beginning, they do the where.
The actual Christmas. Yes.
Yeah.
I was talking about the one-on-one fight at the end when he smashes through the car and smashes through the car window and there's a Christmas.
So there's lots of Christmassy stuff in that. I get that one. I watched Lady and the Tramp. Again, not 100% sure that's how Christmassy that is.
I think the dog's
you get the dog at Christmas, basically. That's the whole Christmassy bit. You've Got Mail, again.
Okay.
Not particularly Christmassy, but there is a Christmas bit in it.
Sleepless in Seattle Part 2, wherever it was.
I watched Catch Me If You Can. Again, so the link for Christmas in that is that...
he calls Tom Hanks
He calls Tom Hanks every Christmas, basically.
You haven't called me to gloat. You called me because you're lonely. That's a bad impression.
You got no one else to call.
Yeah.
I watched Little Women. That has a scene. So Greta Gerwig's Little Women. It has a scene where someone they give away their Christmas dinner, and the rich person buys them a nice Christmas dinner. There's a Christmassy bit in that.
Okay.
And I watched About a Boy, where there is a Christmas dinner scene in that, and then it also ends at Christmas a year later as well.
Oh wow, I like About a Boy.
And I watched Paddington. Couldn't find anything Christmassy in Paddington though.
No, it is.
But it's on my poster, so God knows.
I swear there's maybe is there a Christmas Day in there or no? It's just around Christmas lights. Is there?
No. Well, not that I could see.
I will watch this and let you know if I see anything, because I'm probably going to watch Paddington 1 and 2 in the next few weeks.
I missed that.
They're a Christmas film, aren't they? That's just how you watch with the family.
Yeah, I think they're ones you watch at Christmas. But then I've also watched some not Christmas movies.
Okay, here we go.
That aren't on the poster. So I watched Haunted Mansion.
Yes,
with George on your recommendation. It was all right.
Yeah, it was
George
fine.
It was fine. It was fine. It was slightly better than fine, I would say. It was all right.
Yeah.
George wasn't that fast. He got a bit bored in the middle and then came back to it towards the end. He does
dark in any way?
Not
too dark.
No, he wasn't too worried about it.
Okay.
I've also watched Champions, again on your recommendation. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Really liked
good,
it.
Isn't it?
Surprised how good it was, to be honest.
I love films with heart.
Really enjoyed that. I watched a film called My Spy. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's
David Bautista.
Dave Bautista. It was on telly. I literally sat down. It started on the telly, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do like I used to do in the 90s and just watch the telly.
Wow.
So yeah, I just watched it on the telly with adverts.
There is a rumour that's getting a sequel.
Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't in vain then.
No.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Dave Bautista's pretty good in it, but it was fine.
Yeah, I like Dave Bautista. I believe that was a pandemic film for us on Amazon Video Prime, whatever they call it now.
Oh, was it? I don't know. I don't remember it. And one I think you've watched, The Killer.
The Killer, David Fincher's new film.
David Fincher's new film on Netflix. Again, I thought it was all right. Like, it's better than fine, but not quite good.
See, I would put it in the good camp.
Okay.
Because I was truly worried about The Killer, because I think David Fincher is an amazing filmmaker. Like, you look at some of his back, Seven is one of my top 10, I think. Gone Girl's great. Curious Case of Benjamin Button's fine. Zodiac's an incredible film. Alien 3, not his favourite film, but, compared to some other Alien films, it's brilliant. And then his last film I did not enjoy was Mank, the Gary Oldman.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I did not like it. And then the reviews came out for some of this, and I feel like maybe... Also, he made Mindhunter, the TV series from Netflix, which is...
I really like that.
One of the best TV series, incredible, and how they're not a third season of that so far has made me angry daily. I was worried that he's I'm going to say arty again, but I do appreciate that he's a filmmaker. I'm trying to get my words out about him. It's also plays to a cinema audience. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I do know what you mean, though. Yeah, I sort of get what you mean.
His films are still enjoyable, apart from Hank. It feels like he's making them. There's a studio behind him. So I can't get my words out. Anyway, I thought it was great. Okay. Really good. I was worried it was going to be really arty-tarty, because you told me there's not much dialogue and most of it's like thoughts in his head, and it is. Yeah. And it's less about him being a hitman and more about just plain old revenge, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I said it's all right. It's because it's a very bland story, really.
It's quite simple.
It's no different to any other revenge story you've seen. Like, there are lots of other, movies like it.
We get told at the beginning that he's this great, by himself to be honest, that he's a great hitman and blah, blah. He's got these rules he lives by. But we haven't seen that past. And in my eyes, he's a bit of a bumbling idiot, to be honest, because he keeps...
isn't he? He keeps
going against his own
wrong.
Rules.
Yeah.
But Fassbender has a charisma and a presence about him that he can play that part when he looks at someone and doesn't say anything, and you 100% know what he's saying and feeling, kind of thing. I don't think every actor can pull that off. That's not an easy thing to do.
I mean, to be honest, I'd started to drift off with it until Tilda Swinton turned up.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm sort of back in again now. Like I'd got quite bored of it.
Oh,
before
I was bored.
No. I was like, oh, well,
it never reached like Seven heights or Gone Girl heights for me.
No, not even close. No, not even close. Or Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I actually I really like his version.
Really, one of those films that improved on a second watch for me. Girl with a Dragon Tattoo. It's he's an incredible. I feel quite lucky for David Fincher because me and you, we've kind of grown up in his era, and we've seen him. Yeah. I mean, Alien 3 and 7's what 1990
7's 95.
Oh, so I was 10. So okay. I've seen this filmmaker from then to now, and that's the whole of my maybe being aware what film is, cinema is. Do you know
what's a good film that he's made that surprised me? It was Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like a Fincher movie to me, but it's very good.
Well, it's him and Brad Pitt in it. They like each other.
Yeah.
I think that like he's a director that studios kind of trust that they're going to put out a good quality film at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But so this had a cinema release for like a week maybe in cinemas. I didn't get around to seeing it, and then it dropped on Netflix. I watched it because off your, I wouldn't say recommendation, but
yeah, I mean, it's not that I didn't recommend it. I was trying not to give it any. I knew you were going to watch it, so I didn't want to give anything away with it. And I knew you'd probably like bits of it. I wasn't sure you'd like all of it.
No, I sat there and I was content. I enjoyed it. I thought it was solid. Like I said, everyone's really good in it. I think Fassbender's really good in it. You can tell that's a director that is capable and more than capable making a film like this, and feels in safe hands.
David Fincher started off in music videos, didn't he?
Yes.
And I always feel like his movies have got those slight music video vibes.
Well, you can tell a David Fincher film by the credits at the beginning.
You can, yeah, that's true, yeah.
And he did the same thing on this. Yes, he did lots of like Madonna's early work,
right? Okay,
good work and stuff like that through the years. But I think Fincher's good. I always look forward to his next film. I was worried after Mank because everyone talked Mank was brilliant. I was bored witless by it. Absolutely bored witless by it. I thought Gary Oldman was good in it, but it's just not my film.
No.
But yeah, I would say go and watch it. It's on Netflix now, so go check it out. So is that all you've watched?
That's it. That's all I've watched.
I've got one more thing to talk about. I'm surprised you haven't watched it actually. It's called Sly, and it's the Sly Stallone documentary.
Oh yeah, I saw it, and I wasn't really in a documentary mood. I don't think when I saw it.
I think it's for people who really like Rocky. It's to watch, but it doesn't really go massively. It kind of goes through his career, his ups and downs. There's a lot of same as the Schwarzenegger documentary, and most of these actors, I don't want to say daddy issues, like really harsh, horrible fathers.
Right. Okay.
And Stallone's dad is a shit. And it goes from his early career. It's some really good stuff on Rocky and his ups and downs, like doing the Rambos and stuff, and talks about. There's a lot of chat about the Expendables. He really bigs up the Expendables at one point. It's like, I wouldn't put that.
Because that makes him money. That's why.
I wouldn't put that in the same breath as like Rocky or Rambo. There's no mention of Demolition Man, and that definitely should be above Expendables. But
probably doesn't make him as much money though.
He's a very watchable character on screen to talk. He never sits still. It's not like talking to camera bits. He's always on the move. So he talks about his writing, which is quite interesting, and just some of the mistakes he's made along the way. I would recommend it. I mean, it's nothing new, but if you like the man, the myth, the legend of Sylvester Stallone, then check it out. It's on Netflix now.
Cool.
But that's all. Let's move on to TV Club. TV watching.
Boo! TV Club.
Okay, what you got? I've got a little list. Shall we save Loki for the end?
Yeah, we saved Loki to the end. Probably not quite as much TV as movies. It's been a lot of movies this time. I did watch the Brawn documentary, the Brawn Formula 1 documentary.
You finished that already?
Yeah, it was only 4 episodes.
It's still, it's only come out Friday, or did it?
Did it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I did binge it a bit because I really loved Jenson Button. He was like my favourite F1 driver for a while. And so, yeah, I was a big fan. And so I really enjoyed that documentary because that story of Braun, like, that came from nowhere, disappeared again. You know, it's such an amazing story.
Made by Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. It's Keanu Reeves.
Brilliant.
Full John Wick in it. Pretty much.
Yes, I'm starting that later. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. And I can't think of much else other than Low Key. Obviously, Welcome to Wrexham that we've talked about. Have you finished
that now? That's all done now.
That's finished now, yeah. And obviously, I've been watching Wheeler Dealers. I always do.
Obviously, yeah.
And there's also Richard Hammond's Workshop, which is all about him setting up his on Discovery Plus.
Money's worth it.
Setting up his. A little like business restoring cars and stuff. That's quite a fun watch.
Okay.
If you're into your motors, but yeah, Discovery Plus. I get it free now. BT,
so, yeah. Or TNT, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah. God knows, it's all changed.
Cool. I've got one. I'm going to quickly get you excited. I've started Succession. I'm 4 episodes into Succession.
Nice.
So that's
well
exciting.
done, you.
So I can just tell you the first 4 episodes are great of season 1. And it seems like everybody was right in saying it's really good. Like the writing's really good and everyone's really good in it. And I can see why everyone gets excited. So hopefully I've watched a few more episodes of that.
And it gets better as well.
I think
it's one of those series that get better and better and better and better.
It's really good at defining character personalities very quickly of a lot of characters. And that is quite a job.
If you are not walking around telling people fuck off at some point, then you've not been watching it enough.
Yeah. So that started that. I just want to get you excited about that. Also, Welcome to Wrexham, we just finished. Something on Netflix called Escaping Twin Flames, which is this incredible documentary about a dating cult in America. I don't want to give anything away. It's about finding your twin flame, your soulmate, and there's a really weird couple, and somehow they've attracted thousands of people to give them money, and it's an incredible watching documentary, and it makes me angry watching it. I was like, how people following these fucking idiots? Anyway, he at one point this guy pretty much compares himself to Jesus Christ.
So it's Jared Leto then.
Do you know what? My wife said earlier, Jared Leto came up on screen, she went, he's the kind of guy who would be in a cult. I was like, he is, yeah.
Yeah. Weird. I always think that.
The other thing I've really watched this month from guest of the show, Lewis Arnold, his latest TV series, director from the guy who did Time on BBC One, the first series, not the second at the moment, Des, Sherwood, great director. He did a thing called The Long Shadow, which was 7 episodes. It was about the Yorkshire Ripper, but it was less about the murders and more about how it affected the area and the people involved in the manhunt and how long it went on. That
sounds pretty good. I might have to give that a watch.
Well, Lewis is just a fucking great director, isn't he?
I mean, he is, yeah. Like, you know, if you've not listened to the Lewis Arnold episode back in season 1, then go and listen to that. We are biased because he was at uni with us, and for a while after uni, when he was getting bigger, and we were like, hang on a second, the kid who helped us out on our 3rd year project is directing Broadchurch. Like, what? He's won a BAFTA, for God's sake.
It's fucking great. It's a great series. It's got an incredible cast in it. And it will make you angry, Rich, and men are the worst. Like,
sure.
Okay,
sure. I mean, that's pretty much, Everything, yeah.
And we are.
And true. Yeah. And justified.
So go check that out. It's on ITVX, which, if you're listening to ITV, you fucks, your online player is the worst piece of shit in the world. Okay? It crashes all the time. And don't say it's my internet connection, because it's not, because I watch a lot on Disney Plus, BBC iPlayer, Channel 4, whatever it's called now, 4 More, On Demand.
4 Plus?
I think it might just be called,
I don't know.
Anyway, never crashes. Your piece of shit all the fucking time. And it pushed me to the end. And if it wasn't Lewis's show, I would have not finished that TV series, by the way.
Also, we know you're sponsored by Domino's, all right? It's enough now.
It's enough. Anyway, that's done. So that's all. Oh, and so we've both watched Loki season 2.
Yes.
We've watched all the episodes.
Yes.
Let's do this without any spoilers, so we can't talk too much about the end.
That's easy enough.
Because you don't understand it, right?
I've got a fucking clue what's going on.
But basically, you're right last week when you said anything's back in play now. I think,
pretty much.
I think you're correct. But Tom Hiddleston is that character. Fucking hell, he was good in those last few episodes.
Good. Yeah. Also, and I don't want to big him up, but Jonathan Majors was good. And that's a shame, because turns out he's not a very nice dude.
Everyone was really good in that show. I do feel like there's definitely, between episodes 1 and 2 in particular, I felt they missed an episode somewhere.
Yeah.
And they made it very hard to follow. But at the end, I feel like you just about get there.
It was one of those where I spent 3 or 4 episodes being really fucking confused, and then it coming back together at the end and me going, "Oh, I can sort of." I don't. Yeah. It's not that I understand what's happened, but I'm sort of happy where we are. Like,
if you Google it, and there are websites out there. That I think I read. Was it Den of Geek? Did a good one. They really got some nerds into it and explained what was that ending image and where certain characters are now and where possibly it can go.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I think Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston's chemistry is great. I think key one guy from
Short Round. Short Round.
I feel bad for just calling him Short Round, and he's great. And I'm so glad to see him back on screens after everything all at once, where it was called.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
Really good. It's a solid season. I'm not quite sure where they're going to go now. If there's going to be another series of Loki season 3 or what they've got planned for Marvel stuff now. Because I know we got the Echo TV series of the character that was in Hawkeye with Kingpin with Vincent D'Onofrio. We've got this eventually Daredevil TV series that they've now pretty much scrapped and starting again with.
Right. Okay.
Come in, and we've got the Agatha, the Coven of something or other that's been changed named 3 times or 4 times now.
Yeah.
I just
not sure I'm fussed about most.
She was great in WandaVision, but I don't know if I need a whole TV series of it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Loki season 2, I thought it was solid. Loki season 1, Loki season 2, really great television.
Agreed.
Good stuff with WandaVision. I would say it's the best TV series. Saying that, I really like the Hawkeye TV series, and I might watch that again because that is a Christmas TV series.
It is a Christmas TV series.
As we're on the thing. But that's all I've watched. We're now into December. Well, we will be once this comes out, and Christmas stuff starts happening, so that's exciting. Christmas specials. Doctor Who's going to be on. Yes, the new season of Doctor Who. Well, 3 episode specials for the 60th year anniversary. Will be done, and then we'll get a Christmas special. And if no one knows, I'm quite a big Doctor Who fan, and I'm excited that Tennant's back for a little bit, and Russell T Davies is back the other day. So much so that Russell T Davies liked one of our posts the other day when I mentioned Doctor Who, and it was a big moment. And I said he can come. Yeah, I said, can you come to the show? And no reply. So
to be fair, though, if we did get Russell T Davies on the show, you'd be a gibbering wreck.
I would ask him 1,000,001 questions, yeah.
So probably best that we don't
And I
get
feel
him
bad
on.
about Russell T Davies because he's done some incredible work outside Doctor Who. Like It's a Sin and all that. And
It's a Sin is great, yeah.
Brilliant writer. And all I would want to talk to him about is Doctor Who.
Of course.
Man, I think it's brilliant. Anyway, let's move on to release calendar. And now, I can't remember what the jingle is, but I think it's this. Release calendar.
That'll do.
Anyway, coming up in December. So this is coming out in the last week of November. In the last week of November, we're getting Napoleon, the Ridley Scott film, big budgety thing that's coming out, and then eventually will be on Disney Plus, Apple Plus. We're also getting the 100th year anniversary celebration Disney film called Wish.
Yeah.
I've heard a couple of the songs, actually. They're quite catchy. They're not quite in there as much as, the Frozens or the Moanas, but they'll get there. So sequels coming out in December that we know is Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget.
Yes.
It's coming out.
That'll be an episode.
That will be an episode. Hopefully, I've really got to try and annoy nice people at Netflix. Nice people at Netflix. Give us a screen. Would be nice. Also, Your Christmas and Mine too. That's on Amazon Plus. That's coming out. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is out on December the 21st.
Yep.
There is a sequel to me and you've completely missed it, and I think we missed our chance. There was a Three Musketeers film from the French film.
Oh, right, okay.
Apparently it's great. Really good.
Oh, right, okay.
Lots of big name French actors. Eva Green's in it, Vincent Cassel's in it. It's really good. There's a sequel to that coming out called The Three Musketeers, Milady. You know, the character from the...
okay.
It's played by Eva Green. I think it's a sequel. I'm not quite sure. Also coming out, Godzilla -1. Not a sequel, but it is another Godzilla film.
Okay.
Now, we have done another films in the past. We did The Batman because it's another Batman film.
True.
So we might do it.
Do a Godzilla one.
We might need some things to fill some holes. Also coming out, big Christmas film, Wonka.
Oh, is that actually coming out, is it?
8th of December. Any of that, you know, are you...
I wasn't very keen on it, and I saw the trailer and I thought, that could be okay.
Is it a family film? You know, it's a
Is
musical,
a
and they haven't
film.
shown off any of the music yet.
Interesting.
But Timothy Chalamet as Wonka, that seems...
Hugh Grant as the sort of Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, Tom Davis is in there as well, the wolf. You know, I'm intrigued, but the original Willy Wonka and Chocolate Factory is a big deal in my house. So I had it on VHS and I watched it a lot.
Okay.
It's a bit scary, to be honest.
It is a little bit scary, yeah. And also, a bit racist.
Just a little bit racist. Also, at the end of the month, I'm very excited about is the Next Goal Wins, which is the Taika Waititi film, which is based on the brilliant, if you haven't seen it, brilliant film documentary called Next Goal Wins, and it's about the worst football team in the world at the point when they lost 31-0. Western Samoa or something to Australia. The documentary itself is incredible. It is so fucking good. Like I watched it knowing nothing, and it blew my socks off. It's a delightful, beautiful film of just underdog story of just this island doing magical things and a bunch of incredible people doing an amazing story. Also coming out, Michael Mann's film Ferrari with Adam Driver. That's
not sure about that.
Boxing Day, I believe that's coming out. I've heard very mixed things about it.
I'll probably watch it, but I'm not.
And also the Studio Ghibli.
Yeah, Ghibli.
Ghibli. The Boy and the Heron is out on after Christmas as well on December 26th. It depends up to you if you want to the dubbed or subtitled, but the English dubbed version has got an incredible cast. It's got William Dafoe, Robert Pattinson.
Might be one where I actually watched the dubbed version, and which is unlikely.
It looks weird and wonderful as only Studio Ghibli can be.
Cool.
and Renaissance a film by Beyonce apparently is also out. So
nice.
There you go.
Lots of things coming out.
So that's a release calendar. So what else can you tell us, Rich?
Well, talking of releases, we might release a new season at some point. But just want to say sorry if you're expecting that now. We're a bit behind. So look out for it in the new year. It'll be early 2024 for Series 6. But if you're hanging around, if you're waiting for Series 6, like, oh, when's it going to come along? You can always go back and listen to all the old episodes. There's loads of them. Go back and give it a try. Maybe you listened to them already. It's definitely worth a re-listen. Go back and listen to them again. If you don't fancy doing that, and you're not subscribing through Another Slice, go on anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, $2.99 a month. Basically get 3 new podcasts for your money. You'll get extras to the interview episodes, you'll get Box Set Mentality, and you'll get Disenfranchised, plus any other bits and bobs we put up on there. It's a lovely, lovely service, and you get to become one of our super special slicers, which will mean something in the future, rather than just our undying appreciation that you have at the moment. If you want to get on social media, tell us what you thought about any of the things we've been watching, any of the opinions we've got. Let us know what you're thinking. We will read out your comments at the end of the month roundup, if we remember. Get onto any of the social medias. We're on all of them. We're on that thing that used to be Twitter. We're on Threads. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Letterboxd. We're at Unequal Sequel on all those things. Or you can send us an email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. give us a little review, give us little 5 stars when you're listening to the podcast. It really helps other people to find us. And yeah, tell your friends. Happy days.
Well done. We've only got one more of those this year to do.
No, I've got loads to do.
Got a whole month. Yeah. I mean, end of month roundups. Thank you everyone for listening. Always send in your thoughts about everything we do. We know it's December next month. It's a busy one. We're going to have to cram a lot in quickly, I think, because we're both trying to give ourselves a little bit of a Christmas break. Hopefully we get everything we want covered. So thank you for listening. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for listening for the whole year so far. Thank you. I've got nothing else to say apart from thank you. So it's a bye-bye from me. Bye-bye. It's a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
See you next week. Sequel to this week. Have a great one. Thank you. Generally can't believe it's December next week.
I know.
Next week.
Crazy, isn't it? I'm going to go and watch some more Christmas movie.
Yeah, I'm going to go buy some more presents because apparently my whole family has birthdays between November the 29th and January the 10th. I mean, all of them. So, thanks for that, family. Thanks for that very much.